Meal planning and preparation. Meal planning is one of the most difficult parts of any new diet. If you are having a hard time finding vegan foods that you like, this will be extra tough for you. But if you already have an idea of the kinds of foods you want to eat, it may take some of the painstaking work out of it for you. Before you begin planning out your meals for the week, it helps to have a good idea of the vegan foods you like enough to eat on a regular basis. If you are entirely new to the vegan lifestyle, starting out with a whole list of meals that you have never made before is going to prove to be fairly overwhelming. You want to make a meal plan that you can follow, not one that is going to give you anxiety and stress because you don't know where to begin, or because you have to start cooking brand new meals every single day that you have never tried before. Before getting a meal plan started, instead, consider testing the meals gradually until you have a good idea of what it is that you like the most as far as vegan foods go. Learn what the different types of protein sources taste like and how much of it you need during a meal to feel satiated. Experiment with the sides and fruits and vegetables so you know what staples to keep on hand during the week. You can even invest in some frozen fruits and vegetables to keep around just in case you run into a day where you no longer feel like cooking and you just want something simple and easy. That is a key to creating a successful meal plan. You have to count on being human and having at least one day a week where you're just not feeling the whole kitchen thing. Have a few easy meals in mind for those situations so that you are still eating something healthy, but something that will accommodate you for those times when it seems like cooking a new meal will be just too much. Once you are familiar with the vegan foods you want to incorporate into your diet, then is the best time to begin working on your meal plan. If you have a good idea of what works and what doesn't work for you, you will get through it relatively quickly. You're probably going to want to use a planner to begin with. They make some that are specific to meal planning, so investing in one of these may prove to be very beneficial to you. Whether you are creating your meal plan for the week, it is important to consider the foods you already have available to you. This is especially true of fresh fruits and vegetables, as they will expire quickly and then no longer be usable. When eating vegan and living a vegan lifestyle, it often helps to think in as budget-friendly a manner as possible, so take into account the foods that you already have at your disposal when you are making your meal plan and find a way to incorporate them at the beginning of the week so that you are not wasting money buying foods you are not going to eat. Once you have taken stock of the foods you have to use, then you can also think about ways you can make foods that will last throughout the week. For example, perhaps you could make a large salad so you will have it at your disposal throughout the week without having to make a single salad every day or however often you like to eat salad. You can also take the time at the beginning of the week to prepare ingredients so that when it comes time to cook them, they are already prepared. You can cut up fresh fruits and vegetables for easy access and store them in airtight containers, for example, so that you can easily cook them or throw them into your meals. This is a great way to help you save time and energy so that planning and preparing your meals throughout the week is less daunting. Keep this simple tip in mind. Creating a meal plan may become that much easier. Consider keeping your foods easy to access for when it comes time to cook, and cooking will go by much faster and ultimately make the process of planning your meals that much easier. Once you have an idea of the kind of foods you want to eat on a regular basis, you can break our meal plan into separate meals and snack times throughout the day. If you are the type to exercise regularly, you may want to schedule a time post-workout for you to eat a snack that is enriched with proteins. Drinking a lot of water is also a good idea for proper nutrition, and this will be covered more in the next video. In any event, take your routine into consideration and try to be realistic about when you will have the opportunity to cook and prepare the meals you need throughout the day. Take this chance to consider what you can prepare ahead of time for easy access, snacks generally being the simplest things to have prepared ahead of time. Consider the kind of things you like to eat in the morning for breakfast, what you enjoy most for lunches, dinners, and everything in between. If you are new to veganism and have not invested in a cookbook yet, this is the time to do so. You can look through these recipes and find replacement meal alternatives and options for meals that you once enjoyed with meat in them. If you find that you are still hungry after switching from meat to vegan alternatives, you may be lacking in vitamin B12 and protein, so attempt to include more of those things in your diet. Take a multivitamin every single day to ensure that you are getting enough of the essential nutrients you need to survive and live a healthy lifestyle. You may find that it is also helpful when planning your meals out to think about the time it will take to prepare the meal and cook it. If you have ingredients you can prepare before it is time to cook, this can cut down on the time it takes to get yourself situated throughout the day. If that isn't possible, it will at least help you to be able to plan around the times you will need to be cooking and preparing the meals of your choice. And don't forget, there are simple and easy vegan options out there too. You can have a peanut butter and jelly sandwich for lunch. It doesn't have to be some huge complex meal full of exotic fruits and vegetables to count as vegan. There are plenty of things you can still eat that you loved before you cut meat out of your diet. Take some time to think about the foods that you don't have to sacrifice and include those familiar staples into your diet and meal plan as well. Veganism isn't about sacrificing the things you love to do what is right for the animals, although sometimes that is a big part of it. It is about living your truth and showing support to a cause that many people turn a blind eye to. You don't have to be miserable to be healthy and happy with your lifestyle choices. So, think about the things that you can still have and keep them in the forefront of your mind when you are creating your meal plan. For the things you loved but are not vegan, you can find alternatives. There is a boxed vegan macaroni and cheese, many varieties of which even include gluten-free noodles. You can find vegan deli slices and vegan cheese alternatives for sandwiches. You can still have pastas and sauces and make simple adjustments. Like instead of chicken parmesan, you can have eggplant parmesan with vegan cheese rather than eating non-vegan cheese. Work on finding alternatives to the meals you most enjoy first and foremost, and then creating your meal plan should be easy. The hardest part about a meal plan is sticking to it. You have to make sure you are creating a regimen. This routine should include a shopping list for the weekly foods you have to buy to prepare the meals of your choice. It should also include setting aside time, realistically, to make sure you are able to cook and prepare ingredients for those meals. Even if that means cooking the night before you have a long work day so that when you get home you can have the meal you had planned, even if it's leftovers. You may also find it very beneficial to investigate fruits and vegetables that are in season. Buying foods that are in season is a great way to save money and get more value for your money. If you know of places locally that sell fresh foods from farms, it is often possible to get huge bulk discounts that will help you save a lot of money in the long run. You often pay to go out into orchards to collect fruits like apples and peaches for a fraction of the money it would cost to buy that amount in the store. If you find that you have a lot of something, you can also look into great ways to preserve the foods for use in the future. A lot of vegans have become interested in canning foods and making their own jams and jellies and pickled, fermented foods, which have vast health benefits and probiotics that help to maintain gut health. Something else you can do to make meal planning easier is freezing food. There are plenty of meals out there that you can make and freeze for later use. Soups and stews are a great example. You can prepare foods in bulk for use throughout the week, which is budget-friendly, and especially for those with a busy work schedule. It is very important to be able to work in healthy meals, so on a day off or a day you find that you have some spare time, it would be very beneficial to start preparing foods you can freeze for later. Make sure they are foods you actually like and don't mind heating up, otherwise they will take up space in your freezer and never leave. Give yourself a timeline to eat the meal by to make sure everything stays fresh and avoids freezer burn. That way, you can avoid needless clutter. Overall, meal planning is something personal but useful. If you know what you are going to eat, it can eliminate a lot of food anxiety and stress, especially if you have as much prepared ahead of time as possible. You may also want to take into consideration whether you are cooking for yourself and children or other family members or friends. Not everyone is going to want to follow you in your vegan lifestyle, but there are some foods that you can incorporate with meat products as well if you are still using them to feed someone else. For example, you can include your salads and vegan sides with animal proteins for just as delicious a meal, and it can still feel like a bonding time through food because you are still able to share something with those you care about. Yes, some people will still find themselves cooking meat while living vegan, and that is okay. You have to do whatever is best for you in your own life, and anybody who judges you for that clearly doesn't understand what it means to be compassionate. If you are compassionate toward others for their food choices, they are more likely to be compassionate back towards you. A vegan lifestyle isn't for everybody. It can be difficult and costly and time-consuming if you find that researching everything in your life is difficult. Some people enjoy it more than others, and that is okay. But as long as you are living your truth, then there is nothing anyone can do to fault you for it. Let them judge. Either way, you know how to prepare a meal and what to do to ensure that you are being as budget-friendly as possible while embarking upon your new vegan lifestyle.